Nearly 700 years have passed since trees were felled in the year 1314 and massive timbers hoisted over the stone gateway and cobbled entrance to form the beams still visible in the oldest part of the gatehouse. We look back through the pages of the gatehouse history to the many uses to which the gatehouse has been put and know that we have come full circle, returning the gatehouse to its first intended use. Polesworth Abbey Gatehouse has been restored. Here you will see the conservation and the way that the building is now useful again, welcoming visitors and pilgrims to our village. The year-long restoration has brought the gatehouse into the 21st century, whilst rooting it firmly in its medieval beginnings. The gatehouse is iconic in Polesworth, featuring in photographs and painted onto plates. Together with the Abbey, the gatehouse is a focus of Polesworth's unique character. We welcome you to see our gatehouse and to enter into the heritage of our village. The gatehouse is in two parts. The oldest part is from the 1340s and is a medieval building remodelled after the dissolution in the 1580s. The family who bought the Abbey lands had definite plans for this building. They installed new windows, panelled the first floor and added fireplaces and chimneys for each room. They also made the roof space into accommodation, dividing the spaces between the roof trusses into separate bedroom areas. This is the oldest part of the gatehouse. For many years the Polesworth nuns welcomed wealthy guests here. They would be impressed by the nuns' life and concern for the village, and would endow the Abbey for its work to continue. This room was once part of a medieval building, constructed some time after the already existing 1340s building. It is separate from the first medieval gatehouse and either provided additional accommodation for guests or had another function. Although there is now a doorway onto the roadside of the building, all the medieval entrances were from within the Abbey precinct. Guests and their belongings would be secure here behind the massive walls of the Abbey on the north side. In the 1580s, this part of the gatehouse was substantially remodelled. Rooms were created on the first floor, and a staircase annex, now the kitchen, provided access to the first floor and possibly to the second floor too, for the roof was boarded out during this period to create accommodation. We think all this was for the school, founded by Henry Goodyear and others, where Elizabethan authors, poets and playwrights, including Michael Drayton, received an education. We think William Shakespeare may have been educated here. At this time, the ground floor room or rooms had a higher ceiling, and there is archaeological evidence for a cobbled stone floor. Subsequently, this has been used for stabling and storage. The kitchen previously did not access the main room and had a double door arrangement from the outside. This is still visible. This was the parish lockup, where miscreants would find themselves sobering up or awaiting a journey to court. As you ascend the new staircase, on the right you will find a post hole, where previously a beam dating from about 1800 rested. The wooden bowl seen here was turned from wood salvaged from the cut beam. On the first floor, the Elizabethan rebuilding of the medieval house is very evident. The Tudor wall framing seen in the bathrooms and at the top of the short flight of stairs off the main bedroom, which was a doorway, shows the high quality of the 1580s construction. The internal edges of the framing are carefully chamfered, and the doorway is evidence that the building continued east of the present building. This part was only lost in the 1970s. The study area with 2 doorways is where a spiral staircase emerged onto the first floor. Possibly the stairs or a ladder provided access to the accommodation in the roof. As you ascend the second flight of stairs, you see the joints in the joists where the 16th century boarding out was located. You also see that the window reveals previously extended right into the roof spaces, probably with a window and tiny gable. The roof trusses show where the internal roof space was divided into separate rooms. 2 uprights have been restored to form the wall of the top floor bedroom. A date stone can be seen through the roof light window. The oldest part of the gatehouse is the entrance with a porter's lodge and guest range. The porter's lodge is approached from the pedestrian portal, where there was once a gate. Visitors can see where the porter worked, controlling entrance to the Abbey and providing a safe place for the rich visitors' stay. Their quality accommodation was approached from the rear of the gatehouse, inside the Abbey precinct. A door now leads to steep stairs, originally external. As you climb, you enter the oldest part of the gatehouse, a dream world, a contrast to the world outside. 2 luxurious chambers. The oldest doorway is at the head of the stairs and gives entrance to the 2-bay chamber. Another doorway gives access to a single bay chamber. This accommodation was built in the 1340s. The quality is clear. Each chamber had a toilet, or a latrine as it was known then, a chimney and fireplace. These features were rare anywhere in the 14th century. These rooms were of a standard that most people then could not begin to imagine. It is likely that the porter would have looked after these guests and made them welcome and comfortable. Accommodation for the porter was off the stairway, enabling their servant to be constantly nearby. The bathroom and sleeping gallery of the gatehouse accommodation is in the 16th century rebuild of the later medieval part of the gatehouse. The external west wall of the 14th century building is seen in the bathroom, with the typical overhang of the first floor. From the window seat, look up and see the external corner of the gatehouse and previous roofline. These have been beautifully preserved in the later roof construction. In the bathroom you have an Elizabethan fireplace, now made into a window. Here you are in the sleeping accommodation of the 1580s building, probably the school, founded by Henry Goodyear and others, where William Shakespeare was maybe among the pupils. The gatehouse is a scheduled ancient monument building, regarded as important for the local community and for the nation. In 2009, conservation work began on the building, which had amazingly survived with little modification for nearly 700 years. The conservation was to restore the structural integrity of the gatehouse and preserve the fabric for visitors to enjoy. Local people have produced a film about the history of the gatehouse, another about the conservation, and another about the significance of the gatehouse for the local community, called Gatehouse Voices. The conservation has been carried out by Mike Potter, architect, and Croft Conservation, construction. The fit-out of the gatehouse has been designed by Andrew Allen, whose company, Shiny Bright Thing, has sourced the furnishings.